Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a change. So I am going to do my best to make sure this video is as brief but transparent as possible. However, we do have a couple announcements to get into, but I do want to make sure it's as detailed as possible as well. That way there is hopefully a clear understanding of why these changes are being made, and I do hope all of you understand and approve. Now, what you see in the title is true. I am concluding cruise news on this channel forever, and I have a good reason why. I do believe for branding purposes, my personal brand, and just to kind of make things a little bit more digestible for all of you in terms of streamlining everything. But I will go into detail of all of that in just a second. However, I do have a quick announcement. I want to let all of you know that right now I am in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Royal Caribbean has invited me to come over to board Star of the Seas, the world's newest and largest cruise ship, weeks before it is open to the public. So I will have videos coming out. I am, of course, extremely excited and thankful for this opportunity. So while I'm on board, I will have tons of videos coming up, but I am doing 2 sailings. So within that, I'm going to try to get a full ship tour done, room tour done, or like a cabin crawl, as well as a final honest review. So getting into the main point of this video, I have been here on YouTube for roughly 7 years now, since about September of 2018. And for many of you that have been following me since the very beginning, I started out as a dancer and crew member working for Norwegian Cruise Line. And since then, first of all, I had no idea that this channel would become what it is. And I've gone through many different styles of content. I started talking about what it's like living and working on cruise ships, to then during the pandemic, giving people news and updates about the cruise ship shutdown. And then we got into cruise ship reviews and tips videos for a short time and reaction content. It has been just a giant goulash of different styles of content. Some people like it, some people don't. And honestly, for me, this is the problem, because originally I kind of sought out to just be helpful and useful to people and hopefully create a community that everybody found meaningful and something that they could enjoy. But I have realized over the past year or so that that isn't exactly the case anymore, and honestly, I'm not happy about it. Now, to be clear, I am not blaming any of you fine folk. I believe in taking accountability. I have been making some pretty controversial content, and when you have controversial content mixed up with honest reviews that people do find helpful, and cabin tours and cruise ship tours, and giving people tips on cruising that they do find helpful, whether it's saving money or potentially safety tips, it does get mixed up. And honestly, I do believe from a branding perspective and just being helpful outright, it sends a lot of mixed signals to all of you, which honestly I do not believe is okay. This YouTube channel and social media in general has not only changed my life in the craziest, most amazing ways, it also saved it. Because between the years of 2018 through roughly 2020, I was living in and out of my car. I had no money, and at the time I was making maybe, if I was lucky, like $100 or so on YouTube, while also being an Uber driver full time and doing some car detailing here and there, and maybe a show or two once a month just to get by. And then 2020, the channel kind of popped off and we got into the news, and well, that's when it was kind of like the dawn of this channel. It was kind of like the staple of this channel for really years to come up until this point. And during that time, I always had rules, and they were supposed to be non-negotiable. One of which is that I don't really discuss my personal life here on social media ever, because when you let people in, they don't exactly know where that line is, and you have this parasocial relationship. Things get very weird and very muddy very, very quickly, and it's something I didn't want. The other thing was to not talk about politics, and don't go too deep into like the racial stuff unless it's like a news issue that is going around like we have seen with Carnival. But the reality is, because I do hold myself accountable, lines were crossed, and my videos did aid in those conversations. And yeah, I do apologize for that, because it's something that I never wanted here on this channel. I do want people to be aware about, let's say, potential dangers and safety issues on cruise ships, but you guys know that I am in full support of the industry. This is why I cruise as much as I do. I absolutely love cruising. I do believe it is the best and safest form of travel, but when things happen, a lot of people are just really not in the know as far as what could happen when they bring their kids on board and they're not watching them and stuff of that nature. When it comes to, let's say, maybe even the fight videos, the stuff that's happening with a crew member, I do believe the awareness is important, and I also do my best to try to give you guys the videos that you might like. And the best indication that I could know if a video is good or not is if people are liking the video, if they're interacting via the comments, and of course through the views. To get to the point, I do not want this channel to be this crazy, controversial cruise ship YouTube channel. It's something that I honestly haven't really found enjoyable, but over the past year or so, something that I had been planning on doing was phasing out these types of videos from the others and giving people legitimate, valuable content that you would hopefully find entertaining and enjoyable. But not to get too deep into my personal life, I did get married a year ago, and then I filed for divorce. It's been a wild ride for me, but now that things are finally stabilizing, I can now put in place the things that I want to put in place without things getting too hectic, and yes, not just solely making videos because they are getting a lot of views. That being said, I am not here to talk about the past. I'm here to focus on moving forward with the future and give you guys content that hopefully you find enjoyable. So as many of you know, I not only have 2 channels here on YouTube. I have the Ship Life, I have Jay the Nomad, but I have a 3rd one called the Travel Channel that I started last year. And I'm going to be dividing my content up and streamlining it. That way you guys know exactly where to go to get your content and video fix if you do want the news, if you want reviews, if you want vlogs. So just to make it very clear for all of you, the Travel Channel, which I will leave a link to all of the channels below if you guys want to check them out and go subscribe, which you should, by the way. All of the news, without my opinions, by the way, I do want to give you guys straight up facts, will now be on the Travel Channel, but it will primarily, yes, be about cruising, but I will jump on other topics when it comes to planes or trains, basically any mode of travel. It will all be over there. In terms of this channel, which is of course my main channel, the Ship Life, I will have my tips videos, I will have reviews, tours, the cabin crawl videos that I put, and potentially even some interviews whenever I'm on board cruise ships. My other channel, the vlog channel, Jay the Nomad, will be when I board cruise ships, basically the live action real-time videos that I create. However, down the road, I am looking into possibly getting into resorts. I've done some plane and airline reviews, like first class reviews while I was there. So basically, anything that I find interesting in terms of travel, I will leave over there as well. I do understand the biggest concern and question a lot of people are going to have. It's not the amount of channels, it's being able to consistently put content on these channels. And I do completely understand, because myself included, along with many others, whenever they try to have multiple channels, usually it starts out as a good idea and then they realize it's too much work to do, and then it eventually becomes inconsistent, and then the videos never come back ever again, or maybe try like a year or so later. I do want to avoid that. So I will say I have hired an editor. We are ready to go, but in terms of the consistency, I want to make it clear that I'm not going to be posting on all of these channels every single day. The least amount of times I'll be posting will be on Jay the Nomad. That will be only when I am going on a cruise or travel experience that I believe is worth making a video of. The Ship Life will be also the, well, I wouldn't say not the least amount, but I will be uploading there. In theory, I want to do every other day. So basically put a tips video out every other day, or a review or a tour, something of that nature. If I'm on a cruise ship and I am making the tours and all that, I will put those videos out as I finish editing them. Of course, they will get over to my Patreon first. If you guys want to subscribe to my Patreon, the link will be in the description box below. You get the video access before everybody else. And then on my travel channel, because I'll be honest with you guys, the news videos don't take as much work. Usually we're reacting to some type of news clip, or we're talking about the details of what's happened. I can read through multiple articles and put the video up and have it up in an hour or so. So basically, I will be uploading on the travel channel as much as I can. The Ship Life, I just want to make sure I am putting out quality content and not rushed content, whether it be the tips videos or the tours. I want to fine-tune my videos to make sure they are, of course, enjoyable and digestible to all of you. Now, am I a videographer? Absolutely not. Many of you know that, but I do want to make sure I am making the best content possible, and I'm doing my due diligence and research to make sure that everything I put in my videos, whether it be a review or a tips video, is as accurate as possible. So those are the announcements. I do hope that all of you out there, or at least most of you, not only understand, but approve of the changes that are being made. Again, I just think it would be beneficial and better for everybody involved, and yes, myself included. I do want to make sure that my business, my branding is marketable. If you have this giant mix-up of all these different styles of content, when companies do reach out, like Royal Caribbean, for example, which again, I'm thankful to be on Star of the Seas, I want to make sure that they could understand the type of content that I make, and they continue, yes, to give more opportunities where I can be still transparent with all of you, but be able to get early access to Star of the Seas like I did last year with Icon of the Seas, and get these tours up and these reviews up. That way it gives hopefully a lot of you more insight, more information, and value before you end up sailing on these beautiful cruise ships. I do truly hope that nobody sees this as me selling out the channel or trying to go corporate. This is a business, and it is time that I treat it as such. most of you don't know this, but I promise you I have the receipts of about $500,000. And I do say that literally, $500,000 in receipts. Most of the money that I've made here on YouTube over the past years that I spent of my own money to go on cruise ships. And yes, the opportunities have been nice. It's been life-changing, and it's giving me the opportunity to, yes, do other endeavors. I have dreams of maybe, hopefully someday, gifting travel and cruises away to people. That can't happen if every single dollar that is being made is funneled right back into being on a cruise ship. It can be very, very difficult. And yes, I'll be honest with you guys, it has been very stressful over the years, because imagine doing taxes, saying that all the money went here and there and everywhere. It is a pain. So I do want to avoid that as well and be able to be marketable from a branding perspective. But this is what I have for the video, guys. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully we can all have a nice, good conversation. Make sure you go follow my other channels ASAP. Do it right now. I greatly appreciate it, guys. But thank you so much. Yeah, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.